guys, welcome back to our channel, 808 Aloha Live. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Ash. And today we'll be going over how we organize our inventory. We'll first start off with our organization system that we have. We have containers on the top. And boxes, which holds all of our inventory. The reason why we have boxes is it's much bigger, and as you can see, it holds a lot more things, a lot of bigger things we put in our boxes, and it's much easier for us to get access to. Okay, so in our containers, we hold all of the smaller items that we already have wrapped up in polymer bags. For example, this one right here, this is letter H. They're all in categories. So this letter is actually based off of men's t-shirts.
Men's tops, actually.
Men's tops, sorry. So everything is all nice and organized. Everything is in the polymer bag. It's all clean. It has our thank you card, and it has our information on each packet. Oh my gosh. So, the H is obviously the category what we break it down to. OF means overflow. That means there is no more room in this actual container. Now, if you notice, there's a little yellow tag that says number 1 to 25. That means this container will only hold what is. That means this container only holds all the H items from number 1 to 25. Now, Ryan will put this container back and show you the second container, which is our overflow container for H.
We have two overflows.
Oh, we have two overflows. Okay. So, as you can tell, we have it in a pink letter, matching our OF color, overflow. We have container overflow number 1, which is number 26 to 51, and the second overflow container, which is 52 to 77. So he knows that if, for example, one of the shirts sold and Ryan has to pull out letter H, number 28, he will pull that out right now. And that's how fast he finds it. So our organization system, we have it down to where Ryan actually understands how to do it, and it's much easier for him to pull all the inventory out because he actually does most of the shipping, really. So in the containers, hi YouTube. Have a great day, Mom. Oh wait. I love you, Mom. Shh. I'm a big fan. I'm your only fan. I'm gonna
On these two shelves, which are the shelves we purchased off Facebook, they included these two shelves for free. So we decided to make use of them, and this is where we store all our daily supplies. Down here we have our top loading large flat rate, top loading medium, the long large flat rate, it's actually called side loading medium, and the small flat rate, which is only one shape. This is the large right here. You put big things in it. We wrote sample because we like to make sure things fit. This is the large here compared to the medium. This is the large top loading compared to the medium top loading. Kind of a big difference. And then this itty bitty one. This is a small top loading flat rate box. It's good to check if things fit. This won't fit in here. Let's see how fast when you have the sample. It fits in there. Even though it's kind of big. That's why it's good to have a sample made of each one. We just keep them here in the corner.
Stop it.
Shut up!
I'll turn it on after. Good night, Chloe.
And over here we have our various envelopes. This is a priority mail legal mailing envelope. I believe it's not as cheap as a flat rate, but you can also, I think you can put, I think it's like 70 pounds in here. I forget. And these are actually very tough. They're strong. They're made out of Tyvek. That stuff you wrap your house in. And you can stuff those a lot. These are just regular flat rate mailing envelopes. I think this is the legal flat rate right there. And these you can't put too much, but they're good for like magazines, calendars, stuff like that. These bubble ones, another flat rate size. They got the bubbles inside. I think it's like a 3/16 bubble, maybe a 5/16. These are good for mailing maybe a little bit fragile items, not something real fragile, but it gives a little bit of protection. And this is just a flat rate envelope. I mean, in this one, we haven't used one yet actually, but maybe you could mail stamps or small greeting cards, vintage greeting cards, something like that. And here is a Priority Mail Express flat rate envelope. Don't get these confused with these, even though they're the same size and they say flat rate. This is, I believe, about $8.40, the regular USPS price, and this is $26.95. So big difference.
Wow.
And last on the end here is Priority Mail flat rate envelope, but this is the Express also, so versus the other paper flat rate envelope. That one I believe is, where is it? All the way
Left of the regular padded one.
Oh, right here. $8.05, the regular USPS price. This paper one is $26.35. So I think the mailing difference is a day or two at the most.
So what are those pink notes that you're looking at?
These notes are actually the current prices for how much it costs to ship. So for instance, this bubble mailer is $8.40, the regular USPS price. But if you use the eBay, print the eBay mailing label or the shipping label, you get a little bit of a discount. So it costs us, I think, $7.75 is the current price.
I see that. How does this system work for you with the information on the sticky notes?
It works good. It makes it easy to reference.
These here are our poly bags. So we have two. If you watched our other video on our supplies, we have the two different ones. So these are the clear bags on this side. And I notated every size we have, the 6x9, the 8x10, the 9x12, 11x14, and the 18x24. Now, if you can tell, these are actually the flat rate boxes that I use to store them in. I didn't want to waste any more money to buy a container to store them, so I just use these boxes and they actually work really good. These on the right hand side are our outer mailer bags, so it's the black ones, and the big ones are actually like a grayish color. So we have a 6x9, 10x13, 14.5x19, and a 24x24. Now, this 24x24 is actually a really nice big bag. And these are good for shipping like stuffed animals or other things that, you know, Ryan might wrap up with like a cardboard box and he wants an extra protectant for like waterproofing it. this is what he would put on the bag to actually waterproof it. So here we have our eBay tape. eBay does give us like a gift, a certain amount I should say, to spend, and we actually bought eBay tape. This here is actually our fragile stickers, and we still do have some of the tape that we bought. And it's actually a really good tape. Now on this side, don't mind this mess, but we actually store all of our receipts that I need to go through. This basket here is where he puts the stub of our shipment label, and that's how I can categorize and keep track of all of our spending. This back box over here is actually our thank you cards. I'll be making another video on where I got it from. I actually got it from Vistaprint, and we actually got a whole box full. So I think I have like about 2,000 left, and I only paid like really little bit, you know, for it. Come back on this side. I just have regular envelopes if I need it. We have those. And these right here is our label paper. So it comes 2 per page. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. And he can just put it right in the printer and it prints right out. I mean, it's not necessary. You can still print it on a regular paper. Ryan does print it on a regular paper most of the time. He doesn't really like using it. So, I mean, I like using it.
On this table is where we keep our, I guess you could call it, workflow bins. This bin, the first one, starting on the left, whenever we buy something that's pre-owned or gently used clothing item, we put it right in this bin. As you can see, it says needs to be washed or cleaned, to make sure that we wash it before we pack it up or start the inventory process. This one says needs to have a photo taken, make sure we pack it with our thank you card and inventory into our inventory system so we can keep track of it. And we have a couple things we didn't get to. This bin is things that need to post right away that maybe didn't need to be cleaned. Like for instance, we got some posters I bought that don't need to be cleaned or anything. We just have to post them. The photos have already been taken, so they're ready to be put online. And this last one, well, it's empty. I just sent out our packages this morning, but this one says needs to mail. So obviously, everything that's packed up ready to ship with the shipping label goes right in here. So whoever is going to the post office knows to take it, and if they need to, they can take the whole bin, and it's easy enough. That's it. That's our system. Here we have some of the stuff we use for our packaging. We got our biodegradable styrofoam packing peanuts here. We got some bubble wrap. Buy by the roll off Amazon actually. And these are all our boxes that we get stuff shipped to us in. We try to save as much as possible because you never know what kind of size you may need. And every time they send you this kind of stuff, try to save it because it's free packing material. So we got all kind of boxes. We can cut them down. We can use the large ones for anything. And then over here, well, the last thing for our packing is just a stack of newspaper. It's great for packing fragile things, stuff in the boxes to keep fragile things tight. And at least in Hawaii, every time you go to Subway, they give a complimentary newspaper. So every time we go to Subway, we grab one. And also a local restaurant called Zippy's, we only have it here in Hawaii, but they give complimentary newspapers also. And another good place to get them is when you go thrifting at Goodwill. Most times they have a newspaper stand, and it's also complimentary there. Whenever you make a purchase, you can take a newspaper. And if you go at the end of the day, Goodwill and Subway usually tell you to just take the whole stack. And under here is where, how we mentioned, we have overflow. These are overflows of all the different categories, K, O, J, I. So this is the first box. The only one we have 2 boxes right now is the men's tops, which is in the H category, and we have 52 through 77 of our inventory numbers, and That's the second overflow. The first overflow is 26 through 51. So this is where we try to keep most of our stuff. That's a rubbish bag.
Why is there?
So we can put rubbish in it.
Here is actually all of them boxes that you saw in my supply video. This is one of the places that I store it. There is the other place that I store it. So yes, we have a lot of boxes right now, and we probably won't need to order for at least 6 months.
Please give us a thumbs up. It's somewhere over there. Just hit it. And subscribe to our channel, 808 Aloha Living. Thanks.
Until next time, toodles.